हेलो पार्टिसिपेंट्स स्टूडेंट्स।
हाँ सर।
थोड़ा सा 5 मिनट टाइम है, आप बने रहिए, ठीक है।
ओके सर।
स्टार्टिंग आवर सेशन विद इन 5 मिनट्स। हेलो पार्टिसिपेंट्स स्टूडेंट्स।
हाँ सर।
यस सर।
थोड़ा सा 5 मिनट टाइम है, आप बने रहिए, ठीक है।
ठीक है सर।
लिंक तो यही है मैम, मैं एक लिंक भेजता आपको। सर कैसे आ रही है?
मुकुल सर को भी लाइन करवा दीजिए।
नहीं, एक मिनट, एक पहले कंफर्म कर लेते हैं। उस पर क्लिक करो तो वो आ गई होंगी। FDP1 यूट्यूब नहीं तो ज्वाइन नहीं कर रहा। कर लेना चलो। हाँ ये लिंक है
तो सभी को
ये लिंक पहले बुरगाटे सर को भेज देते हैं।
मुकुल सर तुम्हाला लिंक पाठवली आहे
यूट्यूब लाईव्हची
यूट्यूब लावायची आणि ती सगळी टेलिग्रामवर टाकून द्या.
ये आपका यूट्यूब लाइव का साउंड बंद रखो क्योंकि आपका
हो टाकलाय टेलिग्रामवर टाकतो आता पटकन.
डबल आवाज येतो.
तुम्ही जॉईन होऊन एक वेळा चेक करा ना, जॉईन होता येते का तुम्ही. हो लिंक वर क्लिक करा.
ये है ना रिसर्चमेंट है. ठीक है.
हाँ. हाँ कट करो.
Zoom ऐप और ये मीटिंग आईडी और पासवर्ड डालो.
सर उसको हर्षद पान. अरे काय काय प्ले करायचं त्याला विचारलंच नाही ना आपण अजून.
ते विचारा ना.
डालो उसमें.
हर्षद पन्ना से नाम है क्या?
हर्षद
मेहता.
नहीं.
हाँ.
अरे वो व्हाट्सएप में से है ना, डालो फटक से.
अच्छा व्हाट्सएप में डालूं क्या था?
डालो उसको हर्षद.
मुझे ऐसा बताइए.
हाँ 5 से दे उसको.
ये कल वाला बंदा है क्या?
हाँ. डालो फटाफट. रिसोर्स पर्सन की है और डालो उसमें.
और कौन है? नाम बताइए ना मुझे. पूनम कक्कर.
शहारे.
SHA H पद्माकर.
काय काय प्ले करायचं सब पहले पूछ लो.
और कौन?
इसका इंट्रोडक्शन है ना अपने पास अभी.
हाँ
पहले काय लिंक का.
हाँ सर ते आणखी काय काय
आपल्याला काय काय प्ले करायचं आता सिरियल वाईज एक वेळा सांगून द्या मला. पहिले इंट्रोडक्शन स्टार्ट करून देऊ तुमचं.
ये ना. हाँ अभी रुका है.
टीजर.
टीजर है ना.
टीजर
मतलब बोलना क्या कहते हैं.
हॅलो हॅलो हां त्याच्यानंतर माझं टाकून द्या आणि मी तुम्हाला शेअर करतो. आणि हे म्हटलं माझं नाही जमलं नाही आपल्या आपल्या युट्यूबवर नाही जमलं. आपल्या YouTube वर नाही जमलं का म्हटलं? आपल्या YouTube वर नाही जमलं का? हॅलो 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 हा माझं टाकून द्या. आणि तुम्ही शेअर. आणि हे म्हटलं माझ्या नाही जमलं मी आपल्या YouTube वर नाही जमलं. आपल्या YouTube वर नाही जमलं का?
तुमचं माईक म्यूट करा सर. हॅलो हॅलो
YouTube
हा येत आहे ना, तुमचा माईक म्यूट करा ना.
ये तो मेरे इसमें YouTube लाइव सर का डेस्कटॉप दिखा
क्या
YouTube
करू दे इसको फोन अभी. टीजर चालू आहे क्या?
केला सर.
हॅलो
केलं म्हटलं. ओके
ठीक आहे.
टीजर स्टार्ट करतो.
मी टीजर स्टार्ट करतोय. ठीक आहे.
सर का आवाज नहीं आ रहा. माइक म्यूट है उनका सर.
Journals. He has also presented his research work in 12 conferences of national and international level. He has chaired more than 8 technical sessions in conferences. I would like to mention here that he has published 6 books on subjects related to management. He is also a program in charge of Center for Higher Learning and Research at Dhanwati National College, Nagpur. He has been guest lecturer at various management colleges in and around Nagpur. He is the life member at Indian Science Congress and Indian Commerce Association, National Human Resource Development, and many more recognized bodies. 9 research scholars have completed their PhD successfully under the able leadership of Dr. Hello all, welcome to today's session. I am Harshad Panse, one of the members of the organizing committee for this program. It gives me great pleasure to introduce one of our resource persons today, Dr. Mukul Burgate. Dr. Burgate comes with 21 years of overall experience in corporate and academics. He is the lead editor at IJ Camps, Pune. Burgate believes in continuous learning. He holds PhD in management from Amravati University. Graduating in civil engineering, he went on to pursue his interest in management. Therefore, he did his MBA from Department of Business Management, Pune University. He has also done his MCOM in International Business Operations from IGNOU. He has also qualified the state eligibility test in the field of commerce. In his 3 years of corporate experience, Dr. Burgate has worked for a few companies in Pune where he spearheaded the marketing profile. Dr. Burgate has got 21 years of experience in teaching and administration. He has got good hold on subjects like production management, organizational behavior, strategic management, marketing, and advertising. He has been associated with Dr. Punjabrao Deshmukh Institute of Management Technology Research, Nagpur, for more than 20 years now, where he has handled multiple roles in teaching and administration, including that of criteria in charge for National Assessment and Accreditation Council. Dr. Burgate has contributed to RTMNU in various ways, be it syllabus restructuring, or subject examination, or faculty selection, PhD evaluation, and many more. He is also a member of Board of Studies for Faculty of Commerce at RTMNU. Dr. Burgate is also associated with IGNOU in the capacity of Center Coordinator, Exam Superintendent, Counselor, and Project Guide for more than 9 years now. Dr. Burgate has got more than 34 research papers published in various reputed journals. He has also presented his research work in 12 conferences of national and international level. He has chaired more than 8 technical sessions in conferences. I would like to mention here that he has published 6 books on subjects related to management. He is also a program in charge of Center for Higher Learning and Research at Dhanwati National College, Nagpur. He has been guest lecturer at various management colleges in and around Nagpur. He is the life member at Indian Science Congress and Indian Commerce Association, National Human Resource Development, and many more recognized bodies. 9 research scholars have completed their PhD successfully under the able leadership of Dr. Burgate. I would like to mention here that 27 students have completed their MPhil dissertation under Dr. Mukul Burgate. With such a huge experience, Dr. Burgate has contributed immensely to the management fraternity. We are truly privileged to have Dr. Burgate with us. I appeal to the students attending this program to make the best use of this session. All the best and thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Welcome, Dr. Mukul sir.
Thank you so much. In fact, I'd like to thank Harshad Panse also for introducing me in such a nice manner. In fact, I do not deserve so much of laurel, but he has covered most of the aspect of my profile. Now, sir, can you give me permission to share the screen? In fact, we won't waste much of a time because already we are late. And I got few phone calls also. The participant, they were waiting to join. Can I share my screen now? You want to say something, Tekad sir?
No. We are providing just the authorities. Just wait for.
Yes. Okay, fine. Okay, okay. In fact, you have allowed everybody to join Zoom, right? So nobody is there on YouTube Live, or are few students there?
We have some students. Okay. So I would like to request you to proceed for your presentation, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. I'll just do it. Just a minute. Am I visible? Tikar sir, am I audible properly?
You're audible, sir.
Visibility. I'm sharing my screen. Just a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, sir, can you see the screen now? Hello. Sir, is the PPT?
Yes, it's visible for me.
Hello. It's
Hello.
visible. Okay, fine.
It's visible for us.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Just a minute. Fine. So let us start with our presentation. In fact, I welcome all the participants, including the students also. In fact, because since I am the member of the organizing committee of this particular FDP, the profile, let me first of all discuss the profile of the participant who are joining this particular FDP. In fact, 50% of the participants belong to UG and PG student. 30% of the participants are teacher, or they are trainer or counselors, and rest other participants are research scholar and others like consultant and all. So before I start with the presentation, I welcome all of you to this 7 days FDP program on various aspects of teaching and learning. In fact, we are snack which arrives early in the morning. In fact, we had a planning yesterday. We were on this only. We tried our level best, but still, anyway, never the late. Let us start with the our FDP. First of all, I'd like to tell you what I'm going to discuss today. My topic for today's presentation is the role of ICT for dissemination of knowledge and education through e-learning and ODL platform. Now, this is something related to, all of you must be knowing the full form of ICT. I'll tell you that it is information and communication technology. Now, before we move ahead with my further slide, let me tell you the meaning of because it's a slide. I'm going to say the full form of ICT, but I would like to explain ICT means for information, C for communication, and for technology. ICT, learning and evaluation. I have not included a word, but it goes hand in hand when we say teaching and learning, because teaching and learning is not complete unless and let me tell you, I'll be using these because many students are there. of the participant is pan-India. A few participants are from Sweden, few participants Canada, from these 3 countries, and rest of the other participants, remaining participants from India, including Jalan. Let us come to. I'll be using Hindi. Want to say information communication technology. Now, this I see. It's free. Let us go back in. Let us go back to where the student, if they want to learn sitting at home, or if they want to do certain, or if they want to do distance learning, it was not possible. In fact, I'll go to 5th century, giving the example of Nalanda University and the oldest and the largest university at that point of time. The students are supposed to go to that university and study there, right? It was not practically to gain knowledge sitting at home, the way we do right now. I'm in my office. You really must be sitting at your home. Some of you must be there in your.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Mukul Bugati, sir, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Visible. Hello.
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 You are audible, sir.
Sir, am I audible? Okay.
Yes, you are audible.
In the slides, fully. Are the slides visible? Hello. Sir, are the slides visible to you?
No, sir.
Okay, just a moment. In fact, I lost the connection in between. Now, is it visible? The slides?
Sir.
Are they visible?
Slides are visible.
Are they visible? Okay, fine. So I was noting to the universities and study over there, gain the knowledge, and then practice those knowledge in their day-to-day life, or maybe in warfare or in farming, because that was the profession prevalent at that point of time, or in those years. Now, at that time, nothing like technology was there. The dissemination of knowledge was through verbal communication only. The guru used to talk, or the teacher used to talk, and the student used to listen, and based on that conversation from their teacher. After that, let us come back to present century, or maybe after that, see, invention of pen and paper was done, and then after that, verbal communication along with written communication started happening. Again, very past history. After that, the next development was in the year 1438, when one of the German scientists invented the printing press. Right? That was the first step, and the whatever written material was there, was the people were able to produce them in multiple copies. They could distribute it amongst the masses. they could circulate newspaper, provide information through the printed material. Otherwise, everything was done by hand, written by hand. To say a single person how much he can write, how people reach. But once the printing press was invented in Germany, then in real term, the revolution or transformation of ICT and its role in dissemination of knowledge taking place. Because now people can print the whatever material they have written in multiple copies and send it to far off places where other people can learn, other people can get information through news or maybe through textbooks or maybe through other forms of things. Like later, right? Later again, it was written by hand only at that point of time. But because of printing press, things started moving a bit faster compared to the its pre-era stage before the printing press was invented. What came after that was telegram, right? Telegraph, we can call it. Telegram is the matter which is sent by the telegraph. Right. So telegraph was the second invention, which again revolutionized the concept of dissemination of knowledge and education. Revolution started with the printing press. After was telegram, through which telegraphs were sent to people of the information going to the people to the remote part of the world or remote part of the globe started growing. After telegram or after telegraph, the next invention was what? The next invention was radio, right? So radio, again, the reach keep on expanding. Through radio, you can reach to multiple people throughout the globe. At that point, the station were limited, and again, the reach was limited. But slowly and steadily, the reach started expanding. So now people can communicate, they can send whatever they were knowing to the other people. Right? See, talking about all this IT, because if I with me, I do know a lot of things, but if I am not able to communicate all this thing to the learners, people who would like to learn, then probably my entire knowledge of no use to society, and probably it is of no use to myself. Because if I cannot disseminate means spread karna. In that case, the use of knowledge will be limited. It will be limited to me only, and again, if I'm not sharing it, probably society will be deprived of the whatever knowledge I have gained out of reading, out of experience. So this is what the role of ICT is in dissemination of knowledge in teaching and learning. After radio, the next invention was television. Again, television revolutionized the concept of teaching and learning, because many countries launched their educational channel, including India, which launched it goes way back in 1960s, because television was started developing itself. Television started coming in. Nowadays, what we see is flat screen television, which was not there. Those were tube televisions, cathode ray tube required. So television truly started revolutionizing the concept. A revolution was started by television. What happened after, and simultaneously along with television was also invented. Computer was parallelly being worked upon, because whatever computers we see, it was not prevalent at that point of time. The computers were very slow, and it was usually used as a calculator to calculate calculate numbers. But slowly and steadily, this kept on developing. People kept on working on it. New models started coming in. Faster versions started coming in. A better computer, and the which started happening in the year 1980 when internet started picking up its pace. Internet was invented, and this thing 1990 internet truly started percolating into the masses. It started going to the masses, where it was helping people out in learning various aspects. People started emailing. That was the later part of development. Onward, email and all the things were invented, which again truly had a lot of contribution in dissemination of knowledge for teaching, learning. So internet, nowadays we all depend on internet, and after this the extended version of computers were nothing but your laptops we are using today, mobile phones. They are nothing but the miniature of the computers. In fact, we can use nowadays our mobile phone as computer, as good as almost all functions are there incorporated in the mobile phones. Whatever we have on the laptop or desktop, most of the function can be performed on the mobile phone. So this is where we have reached nowadays, and through various platforms. Now, after this, the most biggest revolution was development of apps and developments of various internet sites which help the learner, which help the teacher to truly disseminate knowledge to the learner, to those people who really want to learn something. So this is how everything started happening. I mean, this is how we talk about. Maybe I have skipped few of the things because I don't want to go into history, because here we are meeting to talk about the role of ICT, how this ICT, whatever has happened, people have contributed, people have put lot of efforts in development of this ICT. Many countries, they have invested in lakhs and crores and in millions and billions of dollars in the research of development of ICT. Now let us start with online learning. This has become a new norm. Normal again we can call it. What are the new norm? We'll be discussing about this. Let us move to the next slide. The new norm, as I said, COVID, online learning, in fact, pre-COVID was there, it was into existence. Probably we were using it, and many a time we never felt a need of using this particular facility or online or ODL. I'll be coming to ODL afterward, but let us talk about what is ICT. So what are the new norms? Somebody has rightly said, a famous quote is there: teacher will not be replaced by technology, but teachers who don't use technology will be replaced by. Now this is given by Cheryl Beach, one of the good author. In a long history of humankind and animal kind too, those who learn to collaborate and improvise most effectively has prevailed. Now what she wants to say is that if you do not start using the technology, see, teachers won't be replaced by technology. Teachers are going to remain forever, because without teacher you cannot learn something new. Whenever you want to learn something new, you have to take help of somebody, probably Google, but I won't call Google as a teacher. Google provides a lot of information, but converting information into knowledge, you need guidance of somebody who can teach you how to use information properly, which information to pick up, which information which information is not authentic, which information is fake. So you have to decide on what sort of information has to be used for what sort of learning. If you use wrong information, then probably will end up becoming a very bad, because you will be learning something which is not full, right? Half learning is dangerous. It is rightly said that. So teacher will not be replaced by technology, But teachers who do not use technology will be replaced by those who do. So what does here the quote means is, you have to start, you have to adopt the way animal adopt, the way coronavirus has adopted itself. It has adopted itself in such a fashion that that we are all frightened, we are all afraid. It is mutating itself, it is changing its pattern, it is changing its structure. So developing a vaccine has become very difficult for the scientists. The COVID situation is still prevailing, even though we are a bit now fearless about the COVID, but still we need to take precaution, because this COVID, how to use technology. In fact, you can take my example, you can take example of yourself. Before COVID, we were using technology, but not for teaching and learning. We were using it only for communication, only for gathering information. Right? And the most important aspect, which I forgot to tell you, information communication technology. I have given you the past, I've given you the history, how the technology has developed. But what exactly is information? You must be knowing data. Data is nothing but numbers which are there in presented to you in a haphazard fashion, right? And if I put the number in proper perspective, it becomes information. Like, for example, temperature of any particular region is given to me, and if I put it from January to December, then probably I'll come to know what sort of weather conditions are prevailing throughout the year in that particular area or in that particular country. So it becomes information, and from information you get knowledge, right? How does information becomes knowledge? It is out of this information. If you have information, like for example, weather app, if you have the information that tomorrow is going to rain, then probably you can advise other that go outside the house with the umbrella. Or if the weather app says tomorrow the temperature is going to be more than 46 degrees centigrade in Nagpur, then probably you will advise your near and dear to carry umbrella. So people, they do carry umbrella in summer to protect themselves from the sun, or you'll ask them not to go outside in the peak hour, stay home. Same thing goes in the rainy season. Similarly, if I have information about traffic jam in a particular area, I'll be a knowledgeable person advising others not to go in that area or take another route because that particular area has traffic jam. So this is what the technology role is there. And communication technology, we have already discussed. If we teach students, as we taught, drop them off, कल जैसा पढ़ा रहे हैं आज ऐसा ही अपन पढ़ाओगे तो probably कल क्या होने वाला है वो बच्चों का अपन छीन रहे हैं, because we are not updating them. We see similar type of things which used to happen in Gurukul cannot take place nowadays. You have to adopt. Indirectly, what does this quote says is, you have to adopt to the changing norms, changing normals. You have to adopt to the technology. Whatever technology that is good for mankind, you have to adopt to that particular technology, particularly from the point of view of teaching and learning. Traditional learning versus e-learning. Now let us discuss e-learning. Now this is with this all about e-learning, e-learning advantages for students, e-learning advantages for teachers, e-learning amid the coronavirus, how this coronavirus has changed the e-learning business in 2020, and some facts. What has happened in this particular year because of this coronavirus and because of this e-learning has grown exponentially, how people have started using this technology, how there has been growth of use of laptops, mobile phone, and all sort of technology which helps in ICT, and how e-learning platform works. We'll be discussing one by one. So what exactly is e-learning? See, e-learning is nothing but learning itself, but through an online platform. In simple words, in simple language, simple definition is, it is learning by itself, nothing new in that, but through these online platforms, virtual platforms we call it, online mediums we call it. Lectures are delivered through online video audio session, and virtual takes place real world classroom. Whatever knowledge we used to gain earlier, going to school, nowadays even the students, children they are not going to school because the school is almost closed from March. March now it's going to almost coming March. So the entire year, it is not that student or the children did not learn anything. They kept on learning through various apps. We'll be discussing about all those apps, all those platforms one by one. What does patterns mean? E-learning trends. Education sector has undergone a significant advancement in one year. Human science on technology has led to the advent of e-learning portals. According to to be worth $325 billion. It is not million. You know how much 1 million stands for, and you know how much 1 billion stand for. The worldwide e-learning market is going to be $325 billion in the year to 2025. Now almost 2020. In coming 3-4 years, it will go behind the 300. It may reach 400 mark also, $400 billion mark also. Why are we taking help of all this e-learning? Are there really any advantage? Because many people says we are not able to learn properly. There is less interaction. If we do classroom, we have to start one place, and then things get very stressful when sitting for long hours attending the lectures online. In fact, few of the things may be true, but e-learning do have a lot of advantages compared to conventional learning. You can, because even I am a teacher and I know I'm taking classes online, even though the interaction part has gone down, if we have classroom training is up to a maximum level, is at optimum level. Here, it's lost and you cannot interact one-to-one in that is there to other platform, but still we know, see, unless and until we go to a shop and see for ourselves, we do not get a feel of it. Certain things are there which need to be done. You will never get a feel of that you are purchasing. Let us talk about shopping, for example. Unless and until I go and see a laptop for myself, what are the features, what are the benefits, probably I will not be convinced to a fullest. But nowadays, a lot of comparison, lot of reviews about the product. So things have become quite easier when talking about shopping. Now let us come back to e-learning. What are the advantages for the students? Students can schedule their lecture on e-learning portal according to their availability. There are plenty of e-learning portals. Top is one of them. Byju's is one of them. You must have seen their ad on television. They are coming plenty number after COVID because these companies knows that their market is going to grow now, and because probably they are going to use their portal. So here, what this portal operates, you don't have to go and log in the way we have logged today for this particular FDP at a scheduled time. Whenever you would like to, whenever you have spare time, whenever you feel like learning, you can just log in, and the virtual teacher or maybe on few of the online teacher, online counselor available to you to sort out your queries and doubts and difficulties. Students learn 5 times more material through online courses. Students gets 5 times more material because plenty of material is available online, which is probably not that costlier compared to hard copies or books. See, we have limitation. आप किताबें खरीद के कितना खरीद सकते हो? Because books cost a lot, because it's cost paper, it costs printing. But here soft copies do not cost anything. It just costs to write it down on a soft copy, and that's to thousands, lakhs, and millions people across at one go. So you have more material is available compared to traditional learning, because traditional learning, you probably go to a library and you have limited resource, limited books that are available, out of which you can pick up any 2 or 3 or 4 depending on the rules set by the library. But here you can access n number of study material. Many of the websites they offer free study material. There are a lot of plenty of study material which you can download, which you can print, which you can recirculate, which you can use at any point of time. It offers various videos also, online videos, which you can watch at any point. Feel technology and individualized teaching models to provide personalized learning experience to the students. See, what happened here is, I want to learn today, for example, if I want to learn how to market a particular product, right? So I can personalize my learning. I don't have to wait for a particular lecture to happen. I can just go to the website, ask that module and study on my own. Self-study mode, we can call it. I can take help of the experts also. E-learning increases the retention rate from 25% to 60% as compared to 8-10% in learning. Now, why does it happen? Why is the percent so high? Face-to-face, in fact, it should be higher. But what happens in e-learning is you get a lot of videos, you get a lot of audios, you get a lot of graphics, which is very easy for brain to grasp and remember. So your retention rate increases if you use it, because you are seeing for yourself. In face-to-face, what happens? You just see the face of the teacher or the trainer. Probably he must be having or may not be having a certain graphics or certain PowerPoint presentation with him. But here you have almost all sort of material coming through audio or through a video. So you can remember, your retention rate increases from almost 25%. Now, this is where the advantage is for the student: flexibility, we can call it, versatility, we call it. Learn what you want to learn according to their convenience. These are from the learner's point of view. Now, let's about the advantage from the point of view of teachers. Now, how does it help the teachers? Online teaching has made it possible for professional or teachers to teach from the comfort of their homes and generate an additional source of income through it. See, apart from regular teaching, now people, they have started giving consultancy, or maybe many of the, like we are free advice, jobs, or free, for that matter, free FDPs we have started giving. So this is helping. This is being the professionals to engage themselves in ways to generate additional knowledge. Now, e-learning coronavirus, we know COVID-19, we have this word so many times from March onward, before the word start on television, on newspaper, on the internet. And this coronavirus changed the entire structure of e-learning. COVID-19 emergency to the of online, resulting in the betterment of online content quality and attitude towards this. COVID has made us mandatory to learn e-learning. We are helpless. In fact, teachers, they have learned how to teach online, because most of them were not very much adapted to technology, but still they have adopted. They are now teaching online. I've seen teachers for the world of talent. Teaching need to any particular ICT tool. Now, surprisingly, what I've seen, most of them have started using this platform. which is very essential. If you do not adopt, then you are going to perish. That is for sure. Okay. Now let us go to another slide, which says why e-learning is must. Nowadays, why it has become, why to go for e-learning? What is the reason? Why it has become compulsory? COVID-19, fine, we all know it. It has made us mandatory. It has made sit at home and to learn, because we cannot sit idle. As a human being, we are still people. We keep on learning new things. We keep on adopting. History says that we are adopted to so many changes in the environment, in the lifestyle, in various aspects of other things like culture, then clothing. So a lot many things we have adopted and we have changed ourselves. So while e-learning is must, it is for this reason that we have to adopt. No matter if you are a teacher willing to expand your reach or professional planning to launching an online learning marketplace, starting a digital learning marketplace brings a lot of benefit, because this online learning do have lot of benefits compared to traditional learning or traditional teaching, because traditional teaching has its own limitation. Your reach is limited, maybe to a classroom or maybe to a hall. But here in e-learning, you can reach to a number of people sitting at various locations on this globe. You can communicate with so many people at one go, and without investing on printing material and without investing on recording this video so that people can see it again and again. So once done, then your virtual it's cloud platform, we call it, your video or your audio remains forever, so that the learner can go to that particular website or that particular URL and keep on learning from there. Now, what is the silver lining? It's this COVID has done this to us. Every dark cloud has a silver lining. काले घने बादल जब हट जाते हैं तो उजियाला आता है. Then the sun, we get the sunshine, we see the sunshine. So it is rightly says every dark cloud has a silver lining, which COVID-19 has truly taught us. It is possible for something good to come out of a bad situation. That is what this silver lining means. And here we have what we have got from this COVID-19, which is very bad in nature, which is very disturbing, but we all have started adopting to this technology. We not only to this technology, we have changed our lifestyle also. In fact, the environment has changed its structure. The pollution has gone to such a good level that now we can breathe clean air. Most of the polluted cities, they are now having good clean air. Silver lining in the dark cloud, blazing in disguise. It is nothing but this COVID-19 has arisen as a blazing in disguise, right? Pandemic times, popular tools. What are the popular tools being used nowadays? Mobile apps are there, plenty in numbers, which are used by most of we people, right? Then we have virtual classroom. Google Classroom is one of the very good example for virtual classroom. If you want to communicate, teach to your student, give them assignment, right? Interact with them, just like classroom. And probably Google Classroom is a very good platform. Video streaming is another way we can reach out. Right now, we are video streaming our FDP on YouTube Live, so that other people, those who have not even registered, can take a look. They can see this particular session and take advantage, take the use of, take it as a learning experience. They can learn out of it. Video conferencing, this is again, the platform we are using is nothing but video conferencing. Zoom platform we are using, then Google Hangout is there, Google Meet is there, plenty of other Microsoft Meet is there. These are all the video conferencing platform where you can communicate one-to-one, or where you can communicate or interact with each other. This has arisen because of COVID-19 and because of the need for e-learning. Online word search. See, what used to happen a decade back, our parents used to advise us, refer to a dictionary whenever you see any word which the word of which you do not know the meaning, you do not know the synonym of that particular word. Probably we used to keep the pocket dictionary in our pocket so that whenever we are stuck up with some word, immediately we can take out that particular dictionary and just mark down the word which we do not know, the meaning of which we do not know. So this was used to happen a decade back, I would say. But now things have changed. Google has come as a very good dictionary. In fact, you just type out the word which you are searching for, it will give you the meaning, it will give the adjective, it will give the noun, it will give the example, even give you the pronunciation, how to pronounce that particular word. It will tell you where to use it, how to use it. So these are the wonder of ICT. These are the wonder of technologies that has come out. You don't have to now purchase a dictionary. Dictionaries have gone absolute. They have gone all online, not absolute. I'm to say hard copies has gone absolute, has become outdated. Dictionaries are still there, but they are all online now. Right? Oxford Dictionary is again one of the good example. Maria Websetter is again one of the good example. So there are plenty of dictionaries available. Even Wikipedia is, you can take it as one of the dictionary, because you type the word and it will give you the origin of the word. It will tell you about the use of the word, the history behind that particular word, lot many things. So online word search has become a trend of today, and Google search is one of the biggest and the most powerful search engine, and the number one search engine nowadays prevalent in this particular market. Other search engines are also there, like Yahoo is there, Alta Vista is there, Bing is there, but most of uses Google as a search engine to search words. Online assessment, this is important. At the start of the session, I said I'm going to talk about ICT and its role in dissemination of knowledge and education for teaching and learning. I have kept out the word assessment. Assessment is very important. Teaching learning is not at all complete if you do not assess the learner, how much he has followed, how much he has understood. That can be through a quiz, that can be through a written test, that can be through a MCQ test. There are plenty of platforms available online nowadays. Google Form is one of them. Means we are using it frequently to take your feedback, to do your registration work, online registration. So in fact, it comes out with the Excel sheet which has tabulated and it give you the data in graphical form. The data will be stored permanently, so you don't have to note down that data. Keep a physical record of that data anywhere. So these things have the life of a teacher very easy, because documentation and recording part is being done automatically. So you don't have to care about what to document and what not to document. All you have to do is just tell the software what you are looking out for, whether you are looking out for a quiz, whether you are looking out for a presentation, whether you are looking out for information or inputs from the end user, right? So all these sort of platforms, they are available in plenty in number. So all we have to do is just apply our presence of mind. What exactly we want from the learner? Now just Google it out. This is being commonly used buzzword, or this commonly used jargon nowadays. I Googled it out. Whatever I want to know, I just go and Google it out. What does it mean? Google it out means searching on Google. If I want to know something, probably these are the platforms which Google offer. There are few of them. Google Drive is there, where you can store up to 15 MB of data free of cost. You can store your folders, you can store your music, you can store your videos, you can store your presentation and whatnot. All sort of things you can store on Google Drive and access it going anywhere throughout the globe. You go to America and you can access your Google Drive there. You can download your data, which you have probably may have uploaded in India. So this is for those people who are tech savvy, this is nothing new I'm talking about, but still for the students who have joined this technology revolution, it's for those students or it's for those teachers who have joined late for this particular technology revolution. And to say we need to know all this thing. If we are not knowing it, then probably we are missing out on good teaching learning platforms. YouTube is one of the good platform which gives you plenty of and millions of videos on whatever topic you desire. If you want to learn cooking sitting at home, now it is possible. You just name the dish which you would like to prepare. For example, Italian, right? Chinese, Japanese. So you just name the dish which you would like to prepare and put it on YouTube. The YouTube will give you plenty of videos out of which you can choose the video which best suits you, the language best suits you, and you can learn sitting at the comfort of your home. And it offers videos on all aspects of things, including teaching, learning, including you name the thing, mechanical engineering, it will be there. You name the thing, medicine, it will be there. So these are again few of the platform which Google's, as I said, Drive is one of the very good platforms for storing and then disseminating this information. In fact, you can share your information with other users who can edit the information in your file. Right? After sharing, you can give the permission to edit also. So jointly you can work on a venture, jointly you can work on an article. It is possible nowadays because of this change in ICT. And ICT has helped us to such an extent that now we are able to communicate easily. We do not have a laptop in front of us. Mobile has taken place of the laptop. WhatsApp is there, then you have what Telegram is there, the way we have communicated about this workshop to you, right? So n number of platforms are there where you can communicate one-to-one, you can communicate with a group, you can communicate to mass through Facebook, right? You can communicate through Twitter, and n numbers of things are there through which you can communicate to a general public also that I am doing such and such thing. Please join me, right? Instagram is now becoming very popular among the youngster. Facebook is losing its space with the youngster. Instagram is nowadays very popular with age group of particularly 17 to 25 in that range, particular range. So all this platform we need to learn. And how are we going to learn? There's nothing who will come and teach you. It's not needed, in fact, because these are all user-friendly platforms. These are all user-friendly apps. All you have to do is keep on trying it. Even you might commit certain mistake, but one day will come, you will be a perfectionist in that. You will be delivering, you will be knowing each and everything. You will be teaching how to use that platform to other users. I think this is all from my end for today. In fact, I'm extremely sorry we started a bit late. That's why the session got extended by 15 minutes. Thank you, all of you, for listening to me patiently. I hope all of you have put your queries in the chat box of YouTube. The moderator in our organizing committee will probably go through your questions, and immediately after this session is over, I'll be answering your question one by one on your behalf. Okay. So I thank you, all of you. And if you have any queries, you can post it on our blogspot also, that is online research workshop blogspot. You can directly go to the contact form, put your name, put your email IDs, and put the message or your queries or your doubts that can be directly communicated to us so that we reply to it one by one. But right over here, I am here to answer your question. So let us start with the question and answer session. I thank you again, all of you, all the participants, all the respected teachers, all the people from different fields. Few of the consultants have also joined us. Few of the trainers have joined us. Few of the counselors also have joined us. They are part of the profile of the participant. And I thank I give my references and acknowledgement to www.slideshare.com and www.wikipedia.com, from where I have prepared this particular PPT presentation. Thank you, all of you. I request Tekade sir to please proceed with the question and answer session. Sir, thank you very much.
Sir, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mukul Gurgate, sir, for sparing your time and conducting such a valuable seminar. So I would like, without wasting time, I would like to request all the participants we are moving towards the question and answer session. those who have queries or questions, they can ask directly.
Yes, you can put up any query, any query, any doubt. I hope you have followed my presentation. In fact, if you have not followed certain points, if you have not followed certain terminology, if you have not followed certain sentences, then you can again just ask me that, sir, please explain me that, or please, I have not followed such and such thing. Can you explain it again? I am ready. Means I am for that only here. Or else you can put your question and answer to me. Fine. Put your question, I'll be putting the answers to you. Tekari sir, I hope I'm being followed by everybody. I was audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. No, my session, I was audible. The slide were presentable.
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Sir, are there any queries on the YouTube? Just check it out. If they are there, then probably on the behalf of the participant, you can ask those queries and doubts.
Sir, wait for a second.
Okay.
No queries are there, sir.
And ask. See, I request all the students if they are doubtful of asking on this particular platform, if they are, I would say, not very much prepared, you can post it on the blogspot which I've shared on my PPT presentation. You can just go to the blogspot and put it in the contact form. I'll be answering queries personally. Don't worry about it. In fact, whatever I have explained was not very new to most of us. I know that many of you must be having more advanced knowledge than what I have told you. But see, it's a heterogeneous audience right now which is present here. Few of you, we are very learned, or you are very learned about ICT, and few do not know at all. So the lecture was in general. It was for the beginner, I would say. I could not go into much of the depth because the constraint of time is there, the availability of time is there. But in case in future you need anything out from this particular topic, we can always talk. You can always communicate with me, and do not forget to give the feedback. We'll be circulating a feedback form on this particular session. I just want to know your feedback. At least the feedback won't take more than 2 minutes of time. You just have to click on the appropriate boxes and the feedback will be submitted, which will come handy for us as this will be acting as your presence for the session, and it will give us valuable inputs from you regarding the session. So I request all those who have attended this session to kindly give the feedback, which will be circulating within an hour's time, or maybe today itself after 12 o'clock. It can come any point of time. It is now going to be almost 12. Probably in the afternoon we'll circulate it. But try to give the feedback today and today itself. You can do it late in the night also, because tomorrow we're going to start with new session, which will be having new feedback. And one thing you have to remember is you have to subscribe to the YouTube channel, which we have circulated. Manisha, thank you so much. In fact, you just subscribe to the channel, because tomorrow we'll be streaming all those things on that particular subscribe channel, which will come very easy for you people. Today, in fact, because of some technical snack, we could not connect to the channel which we have subscribed to you. But tomorrow we'll be streaming all those things on that particular channel, and on Zoom platform, resource person and other dignitaries will be present to take care of your queries. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tekari sir. Thank you for inviting me and making me part of this particular FDP. I hope it will be a good learning experience for all the participants, for all the teachers, all the students. Thank you so much.
Sir, wait for a second. We have a query in our chat. I have recently got.
Okay.
Faculty from Yatmal wants to know the role of ICT in teaching learning process.
In fact, that is what I have explained. In fact, sir, my entire session was all about a role of ICT only in teaching learning. How this ICT has changed, revolutionized the entire scenario. We have talked about the history. We have gone back to the Guru age of Vedic Shastra. Then we have gone to the age of Nalanda University, Gurukul system, and how slowly and steadily by the invention of printer, then by the invention of telegram, by the invention of radio, television. See, these are all tools of ICT. ICT does not necessarily mean a smart board. Fine, that is part of ICT. It does not necessarily mean the overhead projector. Radio, your television, your mobile phone, your laptop, your internet, these are all tools for communicating. Communicating what? Information. And through this information, we can gain knowledge. We can generate knowledge. If we put the information in proper perspective, then we started gaining knowledge, and through this knowledge, we can have good and better decision making. We can teach properly. Now, we are a good decision maker because we have a lot of information available at us, and based on this information, I can forcefully say, I can say that I do have a confirmed information that this is correct and this is what is going to happen. So this is going to help us in decision making. And decision making is what? It is nothing. Decision making is going to help you in teaching indirectly. If you are a good decision maker, then probably you can give answers to the queries of your student in a proper fashion because you do have that information available with you, maybe stored in your brain, gone through various tools, or maybe you can refer to these ICT tools to gain that knowledge so that whenever you meet with your learners next time, you can answer to their queries. So this is how the ICT and its role in teaching and learning has changed, has made the teaching learning very contemporary, modern, right? Traditional teaching has gone away. The classroom teaching has gone away, and in future it is going to remain same because not maybe 100% online won't be there because classroom teaching does have its own importance, which again will not go away. The way I said, the teacher's role will never get diminished. It will never get outdated or absolute. That the way the classroom training and teaching will be there. But now I would say 50-50 formula is going to be applied by most of the university because they have seen the advantage of this role of ICT in teaching learning. It has come very handy in terms of assessment as well. It has become very easy. MCQ tests are there, OMR tests are there, which are again all part of role of ICT in teaching and learning. Thank you so much. Any other questions, sir?
No, sir, we don't have any question. So I would like to provide my sincere thanks on the behalf of Umang Gitai College of Women's Education, Nagpur. And thank you very much for conducting our today's first day FDP session, valuable session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.